going on, everybody? I'm Alex Hunter, this is HP Builds, and welcome back to the channel. Now, if you guys remember when we were doing autocross in the last video, at lunch me and Austin were talking, and we wanted to buy a car that we could basically just thrash on and do an endurance test on. And some of the things we obviously wanted it to be a Ford vehicle, and we really wanted it to be something that we kind of had in our fleet. That way we could show just how strong some of our personal race cars are. And well, that was a little over a week ago. And ever since then, I have been trying as hard as I can to find one of these cars. And well, I found one. And I went and got it last night. And I don't really know what to say about it just yet. I'm gonna let you guys check this car out. It's a little rough, but it checks all the boxes. Check this out. All right, well, as you can tell, we got us a 4-liter V6 Mustang. Now, this car is a 2007. It has 168,000 miles. And to be honest with you, it doesn't even run right now, which is what this video is all about. And let me go to the other side and kind of explain why it doesn't run. All right, so before I spin this camera around, I want to give you a little backstory on this car. The story to me was about a year ago, this car was in a wreck. And immediately after it was hit, it would never start back up. But to me, that doesn't sound like anything major. I thought it was the inertia switch. And when I got there and I saw kind of how hard this car was hit, I really believe it was just the inertia switch. And me and Dad, we put a battery in this thing yesterday, kind of turned it over, make sure the motor wasn't locked up. And I hit the inertia switch reset, and it spit and sputtered as I was trying to get it on the trailer. But I didn't really want to start it because I knew the second this thing got started, the guy that was trying to sell it to me was going to raise the price through the sky. So I didn't do it. But let me spin this camera around and I'm going to show you how hard this thing got hit. Prepare for your jaws to be dropped. All right, so as you guys can see, this thing took a heck of a lick on this passenger side here. It got into the door, it got into the quarter panel, and it even crushed this entire pillar. This door is never coming open again, and that's okay because where we're going, we don't need it to open again. But the most important part about this hit that I was really concerned about was the lower control arm mount on this rear axle. And I climbed underneath it. It's not bent, it's not kinked. This car's tracking true, which for what we're doing with it, that's really all we needed. We didn't need this door to open. We can climb Dukes of Hazzard style straight into this window. But looking at how hard this got hit really yielded me to believe that that inertia switch is what kept this car from running. It just cut the fuel off to this car. So let's load up. Let's get up here to the gas station. I'm gonna go put some gas in this car, and hopefully that freshens it up just enough. That way we can throw some starter fluid in it and maybe get this thing to fire over pretty daggum quick, because I want to see if we can drive this thing off this trailer. And if we can do that, we might just try to go do a burnout out here on the road, because we all know this car is a one-tire fire, and that's not going to happen for very long. One of the first things we got to do is weld this diff up. So let's go see if we can get this thing driving. Alright guys, well here's the deal. I just threw 5.5 gallons of 93 octane in this car. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to put a fresh battery in this thing. I'm actually going to set another battery on the trailer and put jumper cables. That way I know I've got plenty of power to keep turning this thing over. And we're going to see if we can throw some starter fluid in this thing and maybe get this thing to fire. So let's pop the hood, throw some batteries in this thing. Fingers crossed. Yeah, we don't need that where we're going. All right, guys. Fingers crossed. Here goes nothing. Come on. All right. Let's press this switch. One more time. All right, let's give it a minute. I'm gonna spray a little bit more starter fluid. I'm actually gonna take this plastic off here and make sure this switch is going all the way down. I think we're gonna get it. It's wanting to start. You hear it kind of spitting. It's gonna come. Give me a second. We'll see what we can make happen. All right, guys, I sprayed a little starter fluid. See if this works. Huh. I just don't know. I wonder if we have a bad fuel pump. Let's pop this back seat and see what we got. All right, guys. Got the cover pulled here. We're gonna listen closely when I turn this key and see if we hear a starter or a fuel pump. I heard it. Fuel pump's definitely working. All right, so the fuel pump's definitely working. My guess is we might have just a ton of air in the line coming down these fuel rails. I don't know. It wants to start. Let's give it one more go. See what we got. Man, it's wanting to fire. All right, I'm gonna give that starter a minute to cool down. We're close. I can feel it. We're definitely close. I'm gonna check spark plugs, make sure everything is good to go there, and see if we can make this happen. Guys, so I went ahead and pulled a plug, and I don't know if this thing is gonna focus or not, but man, they are rough. That might explain our problem. If one's this way, the other 5 are probably just as bad. So I'm going to replace these spark plugs and see if we can make that solve our problem. All right, so all the spark plugs, I pulled them out. I actually sanded them down. They were pretty bad, but I called the parts house and I couldn't get spark plugs till like 1 o'clock today, and that just wasn't gonna work because I've actually got to get this done here in the next couple hours, and then I've actually got to get to Hendersonville. So I said, let's just try the sandpaper and see if we can scuff them up, see if we can get spark through them. I'm gonna throw a little bit more starter fluid in here, and we're gonna turn this key on, and hopefully this thing fires. I've got a bet with Ashley right now that says I can get this thing fired before I meet her. So it's about my last shot here. Let's make it happen. Well, that sucks. Guys, this thing wants to fire. I don't understand. Now we've got our spark plugs cleaned. Only thing I'm thinking, this thing might have sat for a little bit longer than they advertised. They told me it's set for a year. And right now, even after I put 5.5 gallons in this car, I'm showing 3/4 of a tank of fuel. So this thing had almost a half a tank of gas that is over a year old. So what I might need to do, take this thing, drain the fuel tank before I try this again. All right, guys, well, here's the deal. I've got to shut down for the day with the baby coming. I've got to go meet up with Ashley, and we actually have to get to a doctor's appointment this afternoon. Just 3 more weeks away, and we will have our future race car driver. But because of that, I'm calling it a quits today on this car. I really think we might just have some very, very bad gas. I think this car's done a lot more sitting than they're advertising. I think it was a lot longer than just a year. So I'm gonna replace the fuel filter and drain all the gas out and put fresh gas in and see if we can get this thing to fire. Because I promise you, under my ownership, I will have this car running. But between now and the next video, I need you guys' help. I need to come up with a name for this car. So Austin looked at it last night. He said we should name it Elmo, and it's not gonna work because our very first truck, our Ram 3500 we named it Elmo. So that name is gone forever. So we need a new name for this one. So you guys go down in the comment section, let me know what you guys think, and I'm gonna pick one because every car needs a name, even good old smashed up ones here. So we'll catch you guys in the next video. Sorry I didn't get it running. We're gonna come back. We're gonna get this, I promise. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.